guys say that YouTube has the evaluating system that can be able to remove all trash videos out of the trending tab, but I'm telling you, this is not true. Why? First of all, 500 hours of content are uploaded every minute, so how are you ensuring that the system is working well? And second, even if they do work well, then it still does not worthy to glamorize the videos because the metric is wrong itself. And now you guys say that in your first argument, the glamorizing of YouTube trending are motivating people to create more qualified content and it increased the engagement. But here's the thing, we do not really need that in order to make YouTube a better place.
At least we have an actor, as you already agreed, that is YouTube, that is willing to be able to moderate this sort of content, rather than when the metric that is YouTube trending is not valued, then in those sort of cases, these videos could continue to be watched and without the ability by YouTube to be able to intervene in how they influence the viewers, right? Also, the fact that even if, sure, they are glorified on YouTube trending, they get on YouTube trending, right? We still take this clash. Why is it the case? Because they never provided us any kind of alternative picture. If there's no glorification of these sort of YouTube trending, then will these sort of videos disappear? Will these sort of videos lose their influence? Our answer is no, because as we have already explained, these sort of people have a tendency to gravitate more toward controversial content, right? So even in the case there is no YouTube trending, then in that case, as they have already explained, the media will still continue to pick it up. And the media, being an actor that wants views, want clickbait even more than what they've already analyzed, means that we believe that YouTube is a far better actor to be able to moderate these sort of content if YouTube trending is the kind of metric that we're willing to preserve.
Being alone is not necessarily mean loneliness. I want to emphasize that this is their choice to embrace the hundred culture, and this is their demand to be alone. And it cannot be loneliness. The loneliness only happens when you cannot connect with the other, but it is the case that they do not want to do that. In outside of the house, at least we let them to choose what is right for them and what they believe to be the right thing. In your side, actually you do nothing. We all know that women are sad with the choice and the burden of getting married, of raising kids, of being a homemaker. And once we welcoming the hundred culture, we let them can be alone, then we offer them with an alternative path and we let them to recognize that they can leave that burden to choose to make their own lifestyle choice so that they can live to their fullest. No thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a storytelling session, and today we'll listen about Harry Potter. And please pay attention to the Hogwarts School because we are now going to abolish the Hogwarts School in no time. Houses have been the source of prejudice inside the Hogwarts, and it has instilled toxic competition, which has encourages in unhealthy behaviors such as dragging others down instead of helping each other. And 3, it has fostered division, exclusion, and discrimination, which we will later explain in our case. There will be no more sorting. We're not gonna divide them by any means. There are narratives of inclusion, chronicles of acceptance, and stories of tolerance, which are the Hogwarts' main goals and the vision that we need to tell the students.
Yes, we agree that you can decrease this, but how about individual versus individuals? Can you make everyone live in peace in an Hogwarts school? Of course not, because everyone has a different style and everyone has a different personality. And so if you put them together, do they against each other or do they do and live peace? Do you think that every student can be the second harmony? For instance, it's a Neville Longbottom. Do you think that Neville Longbottom is a really smarty, even his war plot? No, because he like just shy and a little bit not smarty like Hermione. So he needs to be put on the Gryffindor because people here, he can find the same perspective, same point of view as the Gryffindor. And if you put them just in a class with full of maybe Draco Malfoy, can he develop in our world? So no one left behind. No. And another thing we want to recognize that we're going to make Hogwarts students great again.
When you put the increased subsidies into play, first of all, families would see this as a source of income for their family. So they would in turn push their children to study harder and get good grades. So now, because they are not allowed to make any mistakes, they are not allowed to make any flaws, they have to continue, they have to try to maintain these good grades for a very long time. It creates a lot of tension on the child, and it makes the child question whether or not this question their purpose of studying. Second of all, as you are using money as a reward for studying, it missed the real purpose of studying.
Your teammate have said that our policy will harm the education system because we give good teachers away to the low ability classes. You also say that a teacher will lose their satisfaction if they teach the low ability students. Well, if a teacher loses their satisfaction because of such thing, then can he be labeled as an exceptional good teacher in the first place? Because a good teacher, they will analyze a student's situation, and then they will give exceptional and suitable methods to the exceptional method to each one. And then to the high ability one, we giving away the good teachers out will not exacerbate the high ability, the high performing students.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a game addict? Yes, right? But have you ever seen a running addict? Very unlikely. That is what's happening in our society nowadays. The phenomenon of game addict and young people wanting to pursue gaming professionally, despite its risks, is common in our society nowadays, and it can become even more problematic by adding esports to the Olympic Games. And now, coming to our second point, which is adding esports to the Olympic Games create a legitimate excuse for gaming addiction. Firstly, let's look at the status quo. There aren't many kids who are interested in running sports and javelin or marathon, but there is a gigantic number of young people who are interested in playing video games. So, why is it a problem? First, let's look at the values of the Olympic Games. It is a huge worldwide event which is watched and respected by people all around the world, and 3.6 billion to be exact. Because of that, if children tell their parents that they are quote-unquote practicing for the Olympics, it would be less of an issue, it will sound less like an issue, and children will eventually do what? They will have an excuse.